Shalom, shalom. This brother Kapaya Yash with another lesson. I'd like to start off by giving all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rikat Kodash, and double honor to the men of Great Millstone that's out there on the highway and byway, pushing this truth day in and day out, also pushing this truth over the website, trying our best to reach the elect, to wake them up out of a 2/3 state of mind so that we can be beamed up on those chairs of salvation to live in the kingdom under King David and the supreme King Yahweh Shai, which he has the title of command and authority and rulership over heaven and earth. Those title was given to Yahweh Shai by his father Yahweh. Also, I'm not a member of GMS, but I believe GMS has the 100% truth for the Bible, to the Akim and Aqua, which are the men and women that listen, learn, and continue to pray for more faith, repent, and fast, and keep the laws and commandments to the best of your ability, as it states in John 14:15. If ye love me, keep my commandment. Also Ecclesiastes 12:13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Yahweh and keep his commandment, for this is the whole duty of men. I want to play two segments. The first one you see is by Haman Hazar. I guess that's how you pronounce his name. But he got here Saint Hazan. So, please subscribe to his it's a lot. Go with me 1 second. To his page. Let me pull it up right here so you can see it a lot better. Hazan Hamam. Like I said, he's very knowledgeable in the Bible, and he does great videos. The Heavenly Father has blessed him with the graphics, because a lot of times graphics do catch a lot of our attention to get you, in the truth, to give you, some understanding. People are attracted, to arts and crafts and stuff like that, Well, any way possible to, get Yahweh by Shemal Shai people and to get in his word, hey, the Heavenly Father going to give it to certain men to grab those people in, So, let me just play this video here, and this is one example of, let me pause right before it. Let me say this here before I play it. We have, there are going to be people that work for the enemy, I'll say that, of all different races, all different, colors. And what you're about to see on these two segments, one Edomite woman doing an interview and asking these, questions to give your enemy Esau more ammunition to come in your neighborhood, to wreck shop, to slaughter, to unalive, because his biggest enemy is us. As they say, the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. We'll change that around. The sweeter you are, the more bitter he is towards you. And I'm just, being facetious, but he hate the head tribe of Israel, which is Judah, the most out of all. He still have that perpetual hatred, and it will never go away. It's in his bloodline, and his bloodline is still here. So, he ain't going to stop unaliving, stop hating until Yahweh shall come. And then on the second segment of video is the one that I'm sure some of you brothers and sisters saw a few days back under out of the camp, the camp out of Dallas, the head guy out of Dallas. I can't remember his name, but Remnants Save 4144. He did a video about was the Flip Queens or whatever his name from New York. You know, so-called Jake doing the interview and asking Tazariak, you know, these go get him questions, you know, to try to get you to say something, to slip up, so that it can give the enemy more fuel, more power to come in on our neighbor in our neighborhood. Which, you know, Esau gonna do that anyway. But he gotta build up a rapport. You know, he gotta get a collage of information of y'all going to the shooting range, y'all out there, you know, practicing, you know, whatever y'all practicing in the background, fighting technique, you know, y'all some type of guerrilla group or whatever, you know, you know, terrorizing, you know, the neighborhood, you know, having blonde men and blonde white women and other nation of people, non-white, kissing your boot and stuff like that. They taking notes, and they're gonna blame, starting with you know, with the camps. You know, they using guys, you know, like Paul, I think his name Paul Moore or something, you know, and this so-called Black Panther now is the Lion Den. They taking scripts and videos, pages, whatever, your conversation, you know, and other brothers that join in that group. The Esau, he need all that so that he can paint a negative snare on so-called African American, that we need to come and be your protectors and weed out the evil, you know, the evilness of your people. And first thing simple-minded Jake is going to do, yeah, get those so-called Black Panther or Lion Den guys that want to start, you know, they want to bring forth, you know, shootouts and stuff in our neighborhood. Because, you know, when you hear this guy Paul, he telling him, bring it on, let's get it on. A lot of our people don't want that, you know, but he's working for them. He's working for the CIA. You can't tell me that he's not. And then on the flip side of that, a lot of our people, look at Manata Zakbak's video, how you got young people of our nation complaining about Black Hebrew Israelites. You know, if they say black, you know, which means evil and none void of light, and, you know, just all types of negative shit. You know, and they get on there and talk harsh about the prophet. So they recording what they say about us, and then they gonna come up with a formula to say we got to get rid of these negative so-called black people to save the rest of the good Negroes. But just by you being not being wise, he's going to play the role as being a superhero, Captain Saberhole, to use simple Negroes. You're going to be part of it too. You're going to be part of the slaughter as well. Because just like when the police come and he see a group of guys walking down the street, he just don't pull over one, he pull over all of them. When he gets suspicious and think these Negroes this. I mean, he pulling over all of them. That's how he operates. That's how he get down. So let me just play these two snippets right quick, because these two individuals are working for the enemy and they setting up these loaded questions to get the right answer, and that's what they want to hear. Bring it. We won't. If they cause a problem, we're gonna cause a problem. So let's go ahead and play this here first.
And you have around how many men? Can you tell me, like, approximately?
A little under 100.
Okay.
In Philly.
Because I was hearing about ICE recruitment. They like tripled their budget. They recruited more than 10,000 people.
But that's why you get stuff like this.
But then there's escalation, because that's always the question. Do you believe in nonviolent revolution?
It's possible, but the threat of violence has to be there.
But I mean, if Trump sends like hundreds of ICE agents, are you ready for that?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Send it.
See that? See that? You see that? I'm going to play this one more time. This woman here, she pretty much gave him two loaded questions. She first asked him, how many of you all, are together? He said a little bit under 100 in Philly. So, that's just in Philly. So we got a little bit under 100 in Philly. Then she come back and say, well, they ICE agents they recruited 10,000 more. And pretty much she was saying that, do you think with the few that you have is able to stand up to 10,000? And he said, bring it. So obviously this man here, either, it's two things. He's a complete idiot, complete fool, or he's working for the CIA. And my point is, CIA, a fool would know, hell no, I'm just talking shit. I ain't gonna stand up. You be the damn fool be the first one to run when he see all them guys with their tactical warfare uniform and guns and all this and that and night vision and shit. Man, listen. Y'all just tomatoes on a piece of log, and they just having shooting practice on y'all. Y'all gonna bust open like a fucking tomato. No, this guy here worked for the fucking CIA. So let me play this video again. And like I said, Esau, he ain't stupid. Like I said, he want to make it seem like, he got, like I said, he's gonna have people to do the groundwork, and then he's gonna take an evaluation, and then from the evaluation, he's gonna go ahead and make a decision.
Around how many men? Can you tell me, like,
and he's gonna come in like a damn flood.
A little under 100.
Okay.
In Philly.
Because I was hearing about ICE recruitment. They like tripled their budget. They recruited more than 10,000 people.
But that's why you get stuff like this.
But then there's escalation, because that's always...
See that? And that's another thing too. Because he's going to use what their brother just did. He said that's why we need stuff like this. He was referring to his gun. Play that one more time. Let's play it, go back just a little bit. Hopefully that's it.
Their budget, they recruited more than 10,000 people.
But that's why you get stuff like this.
But then there's escalation.
See, that's why we need stuff like he talking about his gun. I wish I can get it and stop it right on the point, which I can't, I believe.
But that's why you get stuff like this.
But then
see, and they're gonna take a snapshot. See how violent these people are. We coming in trying to clean up the streets. We want to be that that street sweeper. I ain't talking about, you know, some old idiot with a gun and he just shoot up the block and everybody is off the block. Now the street, you know, is empty, it's clean. No, you know, there's a machine called street sweeper where it literally clean the street. You know, but Esau, you know, he's gonna come in and clean up you Negroes, you 2/3. So that's why it's very important when you see a group of men with army gear on, something should tell you this is not the spot. Turn your ass around. And if they do catch up to you, and I don't care if they do come at you aggressive. If they come at you well-mannered or come at you aggressive or whatever, you be kind as hell. That's not being weak. You don't want to get shot up. You don't want to get beat up. You don't want to get slammed head first to the ground, handcuffed, busted all up, sitting in some detention cell, bleeding. You know you in pain, and they ain't part of them abusing you. Is not really. I guarantee you, when they take you back there, they ain't give you no type of medicine for your pain. I wouldn't doubt it if they do call the ambulance, come up there and patch you up and check you out, stuff like that. Guess what? It probably a holding period for them to even go back there to see you. They probably already there, and they say, hold on, give us about 2 hours, then you go back there and assist them. You just never know with these people. The Heavenly Father told us how to deal with your enemy. Let's go to it. And I'm gonna play that other video also, but let's go to this here right quick. Because it's too many people saying, well, no, that can't be me. That wouldn't be me. The same shit I remember hearing a long time ago about slavery, how the slave master did this and the slave master did that. Oh man, no. If I back in those days, man, you know, they wouldn't have did it to me. Yes, they would. Now, don't get me wrong. You had some people that did fight master back and did unalive master at the time. But guess what? He had to haul his whole fucking family out of town. And that's a lot. That's a lot of responsibility. So a lot of times the man, if he had a wife, 5 kids, 10 children or whatever, he had to think about, what if I don't want to, you know, I don't want to have to uproot my family, go through the fucking woods and hold on, and have to deal with, you know, just being outside, being amongst, you know, snakes and black panthers and wild boars and stuff like that. You know, living from dirt to mouth, you know, because you trying to get away from, you know, getting yourself unalive and your whole family. All because you want to be a tough guy. Bear with me 1 second. What was it? Oh, 5. See, this is what the Lord told us, Matthew 5:25. And a lot of you that are watching, this is going to be very, very, you know, important, detrimental to your health. Because there have been a lot of people going out there fucking with these ICE people. Leave them the fucking alone. Get out the way. It's judgment for those people that get held up by ICE. You cannot do anything by jumping out there, getting in their way, and trying to stop what they doing. They got guns, they got pepper spray, they got stun guns, and when they want to call up for backup, there's 20, 30, and 40 to 100 more that's gonna come. You can't stop them. And these here are wicked, sick people, and they doing this shit for the money and also for the love of blood. I'll say that too. They want to see blood shed. You got some wicked, cold-blooded people out here. They would do it for free just to see bloodshed and death. Matthew 5:25. Agree with thy adversary quickly while thou art in the way with him. When you see him, you in his way, get your ass out the way. Do what he tell you to do. Hell, if he don't see you, hell, sit there and hide. Don't move, because if he didn't see you, don't move. Because if you do move, he see you, he might come question you. If you don't want him to question you, stay put. Stay, act like a fucking mannequin or something. Get your ass away from them. That, they don't mean that you weak. They're called being wise. You avoiding trouble. Be like Job. Job, he, how you say that? And Job 1:1, he was a righteous man, and he eschewed evilness. He ran away from it like it was a snake. And I'm trying to, that word ESCHE, some L or whatever, I can't remember, but it's in Job 1:1, So we have to avoid our adversary. But if we get caught in their hand and their way, we got to, do the right thing. So let me read it again. Agree with thy adversary quickly. And Shalaki, I'm driving too, so just bear with me. Agree with thy adversary quickly while thou in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge. But first you're gonna go to a holding center. And if this was a court or whatever, be the jail, then you go see the judge, and then the judge gonna judge you on what you didn't do. You broke the law or whatever, then you gonna see the bailiff, then back to the jail cell. You do your time. So after deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, the bailiff, and thou be cast into prison. So you want your freedom, stay out the hell way of these criminals, because they criminals anyway. A lot of you that will stand up in front of ICE, why in the hell y'all wouldn't stand up against these fucking drug dealers and gangbangers in the neighborhood like what you're doing now? Why? You bold to stand up in front of these people here, and they have immunity to unalive and get away with it. These gangbangers, they don't have immunity. They shoot or assault you, whatever, the police come in and get them. But you go and jump in these guys' face, and they got immunity. To me, that is the most stupidest thing that I can ever think of. You go jump in a man's face that got the ability, that he have the authority, the freedom to unalive, but all this time, you wouldn't jump and stop these doggone gangbangers from unaliving your people in your neighborhood, and they don't have no immunity, and they can go to jail. They can go to the electric chair, death sentence, and all that. But you go jump in the man's face that got army gear on. You can't do, even if you had a gun or whatever, your chances of hurting this man is not going to be great. You know, you might have to do a straight headshot, you know, front wise, you know, or find some place, you know, somewhere around the neck before his chest, back, you know. Ain't no telling what else they probably got. They probably got bulletproof thigh pads or whatever. You just never know. They got enough protection to, you know, to fight in war. So let me go to the second one. And this is by, like I said, remnant save. Just bear with me. Yeah, this is right here.
All right, men start getting titles, okay, and getting fame and getting paid. All honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders at Great Millstone. Well, peace and salutations as always to the.
Now this, what you, Salakia, okay. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back now. So this is a video by Remnant Save. Let me pull up his page. What you see is Remnant Save 144. A snare was set. Follow up. So here's another example of a snare, a trap that have been laced on a man that's in the truth. Because the men in the truth, we are pretty much the main target. 2/3 of our people, not so much. It's the men out here on the highway and byway doing what Isaiah 58:1 is telling us to do. Cry out loud, spare not their fucking feelings, tell them their transgression, and tell them to come follow the way of the Lord, repent and follow the way of the Lord. See, that they don't want our people to come follow the Lord. They don't want our people to know the true name of the Lord. Follow Yahweh, Son Yahweh Shai, and that we are the chosen people, His favorite. They don't want you to display that. They've been spending millions of dollars to try to hide this information. But you can't stop what the Lord controlled the mind. You know, Proverbs 21:1, the Lord controls the mind of the king. You can't do anything without the Lord making it happen. You know, you can't you can't unalive a man unless the Lord ordained it. That right there ought to be some major ease to a lot of you brothers that are in the truth that might be a little bit nervous about death. When you are faced with death, you faced with the guillotine or whatever, you say this to yourself: they can't do anything to me. Or if the Lord put it in your spirit to say it out loud, you can't do nothing to me unless the Lord ordained it. The Lord had power over man. He created us. He created the spirit. He's the Father. He's the Father of spirits. Nobody controls their spirit. You don't control life and death. You can read that, and Ecclesiastes 8 and 8. Then you can go to Ecclesiastes again 9. I want to say 10 and 11. You can read that. So, we have to build ourselves up, and I'm talking strictly to me also. We have to build your faith up, and I don't mean to jump, into another lane, but sometimes that's just, that's how the Spirit works. But going back to this here, another, even though he probably not an agent, he might be working with some agent that he probably don't know, that's telling him to ask these questions, these loaded questions, so that it can be a pop off at the end. Well, he said this, he said that. See here that we got on video. Queen Flip interviewed Tazariak, and he said this here. And Queen Flip handlers or whatever probably gave him a script to read over. Now you remember this, and you ask them this. So let's play this.
And I just wanted to do a follow-up on a video that I did the other day, basically showing how a snare was laid for the ISUPK through this individual here, which looking back at it, which pretty much pull up the video that I showed.
I have a question. Are you against the people, immigrants? Immigrants. Yeah, I'm against the Ukrainians, the South Africans, the Asians, the so-called Jewish immigrants that you don't see on the So if you don't see them getting arrested, you don't see them getting locked up. So ICE came here right now and trying to grab somebody. Are we minding our business or preventing ICE from completing this? From one of these brothers? Well, not one of these brothers. You see, the child is there. And ICE comes here. Are you involving yourself or are you minding your business? We would do what you would call, what's the word I'm looking for? In the neighborhood, what do they call that? In the neighborhood citizen watch? Neighborhood watch. Okay, we would observe it to make sure that ain't nothing bad happening. But you let them take it? No. So you would not let them take it? It depends. We would have to look at it to see if we would let them take it or not let them take it. Or we would have to look at it and see.
See how he turned his back to the camera. I know Supreme 10 is a clothing line, but the left hand is always up to no good.
He asked him a question, like just like the first interview. They both brought up ICE. The first one was numbers. And the fourth number for how many people you got that's in your organization, Lions Den, aka Black Panther. A little bit under 100 in Philly. Then she came back and said, well, they recruited 10,000 more. How can do you think you can handle that or stop that? And he answered a silly ass question. Bring it. That's why we got these here. Now, Flip Queen, this guy here, asked him if you saw ICE, and the deal is, and some of these questions are going to be heart-drawn questions, pulling your heartstrings, making you feel emotional, because just about every man that, that has been born of a mother, pretty much love their mother. And they're going to use that so that you can come on out with the answer that they want to hear, so they can use it against you. So he asked him, if there was your mother and there was a child, or if there was a mother and a child, would you step in? See, that's the deal. Would you step in to interfere in their business, to stop what they doing, you know, so that it would be a bigger problem for ICE? It's already a problem trying to hog tie somebody, trying to arrest somebody, trying to pull somebody out the car. You know, it's already enough pressure right there. Because people, they're going to resist, especially if they ain't doing anything and they see what ICE all about. So they'll let me know that to Zaryak and HI, my bad, ISUPK, they're not looking at this here. They're not putting on they wisdom glasses at all. What did the Bible say? You know, let me be your vengeance. I'll take care of that. You understand? When people get put in situations like that, that's a judgment. Don't get me wrong, it's hard to watch. Because as a righteous man, you know, you see somebody, you know, get hurt, you know, get taken in or whatever, you're going to want to do something. But we have to let the Lord, listen, the Lord ordained that. And if you get in the way of that and you get unalive, guess what? It was ordained for you to get taken out of here, just like what's the guy? I think Alex or whatever, that male nurse that's intervened. He knew the woman, and he intervened, I guess, to try to take some of the beating or the pepper spray off of her on him, and he ended up being unalive. And sometimes, you know, a lot of times, being in the truth, don't go to a major platform that puts you on the spot like that. Just say, hell, just say no comment. You know, call on the name of the Lord, and He's going to work it out. Esau can't do nothing with the Lord. So let's run that back one more time. Can I get a little bit? Just bear with me. Here we go.
I have a question. Are you against the people, immigrants? Immigrants. I'm against the Ukrainians, the South Africans, the Asians, so-called illegal immigrants that you don't see on the news. So if you see them getting arrested, you don't see them getting locked up. So ICE came here right now to grab somebody. Are we minding our business, or are we preventing ICE from completing their work?
That's that loaded question right there. You know, trying to, you know, tie you up in a negative situation, and Esau, he's there looking and you know, he's just like that little white boy on that peanut butter jar, what it called snip, damn, what's the name of that doggone peanut butter? Snipply peanut butter or whatever. You see a little white boy with his tongue hanging out. I mean, you're not literally just hanging out, but you got to turn to the right. You know, that's what Esau doing right now. You know, he's getting all of these videos of the negativity of our people and the men that are in the truth. They getting all this information, you know, and they putting it together as a collage, and Esau is going over it and having a doggone orgasm behind it, because he can't wait to shed that blood. He rather, listen, What make him have an orgasm, what make him cum, I just say that, is shedding the blood of the children of Israel. That's always been in his nature. So when you see this man, when you see ICE agents or whatever, get away from him. And in the process of getting away from them, call on Yahweh Bashim al-Shai. You know, to get away from these people, call on the name, and you keep on calling until you don't see him no more. Yahweh Bashim al-Shai, Yahweh Bashim al-Shai, Yahweh Bashim al-Shai. You know, just keep on calling on the name. That's it. Keep it pushing. Shalom.